Hello, children. Welcome to our English lesson today. I think you're going to enjoy all the activities that we have got today. Now, we are going to be thinking about creating some instructions. And our instructions are not just going to be ordinary instructions, they are going to be instructions for turning your teacher into a toad. Now, I do know that you would never dream of doing that to me, but you never know. You might need these instructions in the future. So, you need to listen carefully and follow everything I ask you to do really, really closely. So, first thing that we're going to have to do is to gather some words. We need the right words if we're going to write successful instructions. And because we are going to be making a potion to turn our teacher into a toad, then it's like a recipe, so we need cooking verbs. Our bossy verbs need to be linked to cooking. Now, to help you out, I'm going to read you a story now. It's a lovely story, nothing to do with turning teachers into toads. It's called How to Bake a Book. And in the story, there are lots and lots of brilliant verbs that are used, and I want you to note them down as I read. You're going to need the planning sheet that is in the PDF file. Have that in front of you, and as I read, I want you to note down any brilliant verbs that are linked to cooking. I'll try and say them slightly differently so you can spot them. Don't worry if you don't get them all, because Freeze Fantastic is here and she's going to be noting them down as well, so she's here to help you out. So let's begin. This is the story, How to Bake a Book. I am going to bake a book. I'll break some ideas into a cup. I'll beat them, whisk them and mix them up. I'll weigh out the words just enough. Choosing the right ones can be tough. The small ones go into the pot and I'll drop some big ones from way up. Now that my story has begun, I'll cut out the characters one by one. Feelings, colours, sounds, a picture all add flavour to my mixture. Mixture's a good word. Hang on to that one as well. It's not a bossy verb, but it's a really good word that we might use. It's a good noun. I'll add a watery word or two. I'll pour them in and stir them through. Splish, splosh, splash, drip or sprinkle, glug and gurgle, squelch and twinkle. Now I'll put a lid on it. Wait a while. Let it sit. It's not until I roll it out that I'll find out what it's all about. And now I'll lay it in the tin so my characters can all jump in. Next, the middle, the action, the filling, into the pan without any spilling. Now all I'll do is simply add a spoonful of good and a pinch of bad. Turn up the heat, the bubbles quicken, and then my plot begins to thicken. Each sentence will taste much better if I add full stops and a capital letter. She's quite right. I'll find them in a moment. I've seen them myself. Here they are, big cupboard, top shelf. Finally, the ending, I'll press it down and add decorations all around. I will glaze it with happiness, leave it to cook. I'll bake it, brown it, and finish my book. I turn the pages and I can see that my recipe has turned out tasty. I've done everything as the cook to make my story a delicious book. Love that story. So what fabulous bossy verbs are in there. What brilliant imperative verbs for cooking. Don't worry, as I said, if you didn't get them all, Freddie Fantastic's been working hard and you can find her list in our PDF file. So now we've got our imperative verbs. We need some adverbs to describe them. Now, do you remember we looked at adverbs last week? And adverbs are the words that we use to tell us how to perform a verb. We're going to look at adverbs of manner, ly ones, and we might have things like carefully, cautiously, thoroughly, quickly, slowly. I'd like you to have a little chat to your grown-up and think about all the adverbs that we might use when we're cooking. I might stir something quickly. I might roll it carefully. I might chop it carefully. I might sprinkle something gently. I might even whisk something vigorously. So make a list, add them to your planning. Don't forget, Frida Fantastic's been working hard, so she's got some ideas for you too. Now you've got your bossy verbs and your adverbs. You're going to practice using them in command sentences linked to cooking. So I want you to think of 3 of your imperative verbs and you're going to use them in a sentence, a command sentence that's linked to cooking, and you're going to add an adverb into each. So you might say, stir the mixture slowly, cut the onions carefully. So I want you to come up with 3 sentences. Remember, capital letters and full stops are really important, and I am going to be checking. Now that we have got our adverbs and our verbs to use, we need our ingredients. Now, our ingredients for a potion to turn a teacher into a toad are not going to be the kind of things that you have in your cupboard or your fridge at home. They are going to be unusual ingredients, and you're going to have to come up with some quite gruesome ones, I think. There are some rules though. We are not allowed to have anything to do with bottoms, so no poos or wees or anything else along those lines. But you could have things like eyeballs. Maybe dragon's eyeballs or witch's eyeballs or ogre's eyeballs. You might have some toenail clippings. They could come from any kind of magical creature. You might want some bad breath from something. You might want, I'll let you have bogies, although I prefer it if you didn't. You might want some snot. You might want, let me see, you might want some venom from a vampire or from a snake. There's lots and lots of possibilities. But remember, somebody else is going to be reading these, so they have to work, but they also have to be reasonable. As I said, nothing to do with bottoms. So when you have got your list of ingredients, and Frida Fantastic has again been helping out because she's got some ideas, you are then going to have to think of quantities. Now, I haven't been able to include that in this video. It's in a second video because I couldn't make one long video because it wouldn't upload. So we've got 2 videos to watch today. So once you have got your list of interesting ingredients, then you're going to have to look at the second video because we're going to be thinking about how much of each ingredient we need. We're going to need a list of about 8 ingredients. Now you can make more, but then you'll be choosing your favourite 8. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do because I know that you're really imaginative here too, and I think you're going to have some brilliant ideas. So, once you have made your list of potential ingredients, go over to our second video and start thinking about how much of each ingredient we're going to need. See you soon, you two. Bye.